Hello and welcome everyone to our ABAP on HANA Commerce for HANA course. So in this part we are going to start one of the most important topics of ABAP on HANA and very popular, which is your AMDP. AMDP, very important. Let's see this AMDP part. AMDP. So let's start with the introduction of our AMDP. Introduction part of our AMDP. What is AMDP? So AMDP stands for ABAP Managed Database Procedure. AMDP stands for ABAP Managed Database Procedure. What is AMDP? AMDP is a method of a standard class. AMDP is nothing but, if you have to simply define it normally, what will be your answer? That AMDP is a method of standard ABAP class created from AC24. So what this method is going to do, this AMDP method will have the SQL script code written inside it. First thing, written inside it. So how does this AMDP actually works? So when you call this method, when we call it for the first time, when we call this AMDP method for the first time, what happens? A procedure gets created. A procedure gets created in HANA in the corresponding schema, in the corresponding ABAP schema. So a corresponding procedure gets created inside our ABAP schema. So if you go and check, if you remember, if we go and check, so we have seen, let me just open SAP system. Yeah, just open your SAP system, login. And if you go and check the system and status, you will find the schema of your ABAP. This is my schema. So in this ABAP schema, SAP HANA DB, inside this ABAP schema, when I will call this method, a procedure will be created inside this schema. Okay. So how does this AMDP works? So an AMDP was, or it works on, AMDP works on top-down approach. So top-down approach, first thing, it was introduced after 7.4 version of ACP. 7.4 version. So if you are using a version earlier than that, you will not be able to use this AMDP feature in your system. So it works on top-down approach, right? Now using AMDP, there is no need to connect with the HANA server. There is no need to connect with the HANA server. All the changes are by default, can be done by default from the application server only. It can be done by default from the application server only. Okay. Now AMDP was introduced after the version 7.4. So what is AMDP? AMDP is the replacement technology for database procedure proxies. AMDP is the replacement technology for the database procedure proxies. Okay. Also, we will get detailed runtime error by using exception handling. We can do the exception handling and we will be able to get the detailed runtime error. If we are facing any kind of error, we will get the detail error. Okay. Also, it well integrates with the ABAP system. So this AMDP well integrates with the ABAP system. AMDP stands for ABAP ABAP Managed Database Procedure. It is a method of a standard ABAP class which we will see in detail in the practical implementation part. But this AMDP method will have the SQL script code written inside it. And when you are going to call it for the first time, a by default procedure will be created in HANA for the corresponding ABAP schema. Now a very important interview question here. A very important VBI question. VBI question here. The question is, can we create AMDP? Can we create AMDP if the database is not HANA? Is it possible for me to create AMDP if the database is not HANA? The answer of it is no. We can only create the AMDP method or AMDP if database is HANA, high performance analytic appliance, high performance analytical appliance. We have seen it in detail in the previous sessions, right? Okay, now discuss some more thing about this. So why do we need AMDP? Second thing, ABAP Managed Database Procedure. ABAP Managed Database Procedure. Why do we need that? Right? All of them we are going to see it. ABAP Managed Database Procedure. So why do we need it? So the basic idea of AMDP is to manage SAP HANA procedures. Manage SAP HANA procedures and their life cycles inside the ABAP server. Every property of HANA directly in the ABAP server itself, right? So what you see is to allow native consumption of SAP HANA features within the ABAP layer, the SAP HANA database, procedure language, SQL script has been integrated into the ABAP stack. It has been integrated into the ABAP stack. So to allow native consumption of SAP HANA features within your application layer, that is ABAP application layer, the SAP HANA database procedure language, which is your SQL script, it has been integrated into the ABAP stack. And now what you see here is AMDP is implemented in ABAP. AMDP is implemented in ABAP class methods, so-called AMDP methods. so-called AMDP methods. So you must be really good at object-oriented programming concept. So if you are not good at ABAP, you will not be able to implement this AMDP methods here. Okay, so AMDP is implemented in ABAP class method, so-called AMDP methods. What it does, that serves as a container for the SQL script code. So it is implemented in ABAP class method and serves as a container for the SQL script code. This particular thing, what you see is, this approach offers many significant advantages. What are they? Let's see them. So it enables the shipment of AMDP in the same way as any other ABAP development object. First thing, ABAP development object. So in the same way that you develop any of the ABAP, in the same way you will develop your AMDP also. The second thing what you are going to see, it allows us to implement the SIP corrections. For AMDP just like it is possible for ABAP classes. So this is the beauty of your AMDP. It allows us to implement the SIP corrections for AMDPs just like it is possible for ABAP classes also. Okay. Now you can also check your SAP system. If you want, you can go here, and in this product version you can simply check your SAP system. It has been logged out. Let me re-log in it again. So I will do the re-login. Go for system and status, and in the product version we can clearly see here it is greater than 7.4. My current version is 7.58, so I can easily use it, right? So this system will support the AMDP also. Okay, now what is a AMDP class? So AMDP class. What is a AMDP class? Whenever you are going to create a AMDP class, an AMDP class must implement an interface, and the name of the interface is if AMDP marker HDB. If AMDP marker HDB. This is the actual interface which must be implemented. So an AMDP class must implement an interface if AMDP marker HDB. So here if you go and check in SE24, there is an interface if AMDP marker HDB. Here marker interface for database procedure. This is the interface which is implemented by any of your AMDP class. Okay, this AMDP class can contain both the AMDP methods as well as non-AMDP methods. It can contain both the AMDP methods as well as non-AMDP methods. Now what is non-AMDP method? So what is non-AMDP method and what is AMDP method? Normal class methods of any class is your non-AMDP method, non-AMDP method. Okay, for example, this is how a normal method has been implemented: method name, and method. This is your normal non-AMDP method, or you can say normal method. And what is your AMDP method? So AMDP method, what is your AMDP method? So AMDP methods contains some mandatory declaration. So it contains some declarations which we must follow. And what are these declarations? What are these declarations? So method, again method name, and method. And here what you are going to see, by database procedure for your database type. So database type, okay, the type of your database, language, SQL script, options, language SQL script options, read only, and using the dictionary artifacts using the dictionary artifacts that you have, right? Then business logic, which will be your SQL script coding, right? So your AMDP method contains some declaration, your database type, whatever database, in our case it should be HDB, it will be HDB here. You can go and check system status, it is HDB which I am going to use here. So AMDP method contains some declaration which we will see their features in detail, all these declaration. And non-AMDP methods are normal class methods, right? So AMDP class must implement this particular interface, and it can contain both the AMDP and non-AMDP methods. Now some very important note before implementing our AMDP class, very important note. So it will be my 4th point, right? AMDP 4th. First thing is, AMDP class can only be created by using ADT, which is ABAP development tool. It simply means you can only create it either in HANA Studio or in Eclipse, right? So it can only be created in using ADT tool, ABAP development tool. Then second property is, we cannot create AMDP class from SE24 transaction code, which you do for creating any normal global classes, right? So we cannot create AMDP class from SE24 transaction code. Neither we can make any changes from SE24 for any existing AMDP class. What we can do is, we can only view the AMDP class from SE24 once it is created in HANA Studio. Once it is created in HANA Studio, right? So once we call the AMDP method, what will happen? Once we call the AMDP method, database procedure gets created automatically in HANA database server. It will be created automatically in HANA Database server. So this is the introduction of your AMDP. AMDP stands for ABAP Database Managed Procedure. It is a method of standard class, right? And this method will have the SQL script code inside it, right? And when you are going to call it, a corresponding procedure will be created in your ABAP schema, which you can see in your HANA modular development part, right? This AMDP completely works on top down approach, right? Top down approach, that is top to down. Then it was introduced after 7.4 version, you can see. And this AMDP can only be created in your HANA database. If your database is not HANA, this AMDP cannot be created. Your AMDP class must implement this if AMDP marker HDB interface, and you cannot create any AMDP class from SE24, neither you can make any changes. However, you can view your AMDP class from SE24. Okay. So in the next session, we will see the implementation part of AMDP. So thank you very much for watching the video.